So our go-to-market motion is quite interesting. Predominantly, we started out as a self-serve platform. The majority of our users just logged into Cursor and started paying $20 per user per month. What's interesting is that that kind of led and dovetailed into kind of from PLG to enterprise. Like I mentioned, we started enterprise just about a year ago. It was actually a lot of inbound interest where companies basically had like some cohorts of developers using Cursor kind of on the side in these like unsanctioned ways. And they came to us and they said, we want to pay you lots of money. What do you think? And we were like, yeah, let's do it. So I think what's interesting is up until about like, I want to say like 2 months ago, we actually didn't do any outbound. The majority of it was all just trying to deal with all of the inbound flow that we got. And I think it's something that hasn't happened for a while, but for the last like 5 to 10 years, a lot of enterprise startups, it's often very outbound driven. Go and try to find the right person, email them, reach out to the 10 other people. But if you go back 10 to 15 years ago, you see a lot of like PLG first companies that sold to enterprise that way. So for example, like, I don't know, like an Asana or a Dropbox or something like that. And so I think that with AI, because like the value is so high and it tends to be more like consumer prosumer, I think there's like a possibility for this model again. And at Cursor, we're kind of like heavily leaning into that. And the value is that then ultimately when you go and like reach out to the decision maker, or the head of end or the CTO, they probably have already used the product. They probably think it's pretty good. You don't really have to convince them. I think there's also other interesting dynamics with coding specifically where most buyers are looking to buy, like people just want to give every option to their developers and just let developers choose the best option. Folks like Encore essentially are making the decision because there's so much change happening right now. And I think not every vertical is like that, but I think that if you are in a vertical like that, I think it's actually probably the easiest time ever to sell into enterprise because there's a little bit of this like FOMO of if we're not using like this 5-person startup we wouldn't have talked to 3 years ago might be Cursor in 6 months. So we should probably try it out.